designed to do? Nobody knows what it's designed to do.
Even though I filmed this video at Brian's shop in Tucson, Arizona, I want to take a moment to recognize Juniper Overland of Denver, Colorado, our sponsor who did most of the electrical install that you'll see in this video.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Hourless Life. Thank you so much for joining our Jeep Gladiator Overlanding build series where we're building out this Jeep Gladiator to drive around the world. I don't have a scenic backdrop today. We are in the shop at Sonoran Expedition Collective in Tucson, Arizona. This is the third out of 4 shops in our build that's preparing this vehicle for the global journey. And it is really hot. You might hear some shop noise going around. That's because Brian is actively working on our Jeep while I'm recording this. If I'm going to get a video out this week, it's going to have to be recorded here in the shop. So forgive me if I'm sweating or if you hear some shop noise. It is what it is. Today's video is all about our electrical system. And our electrical system on this build is incredible. I can't wait to show it to you. Now, for the sake of transparency, we are sponsored by 21 different companies on this build for our global journey that have gotten behind us for this trip. If anything is sponsored, I'll be sure to mention it. It's not about bragging. It's basically our ethical duty to let you know if something's been given to us either at a discount or for free on this build. So we'll make sure to mention that. But I'm really excited to get into this build, you guys, so let's get to it. You know, one of the things I don't like about most electrical walkthrough videos is that they tend to go way over my head. I'm not an electrician, I'm just a user of power like most people. And so in this walkthrough video, I'm going to try and show you everything about our system, what it does, how it works, but I'm going to try and stay away from all that technical jargon, and hopefully you'll be able to get something out of this video. Also, as a quick note, we still have a lot to do on this vehicle. You can see we haven't replaced the front bumper, we don't have our winch, we don't have our Rigid Industries lights installed yet. So there's a lot to do still, things that are going to be powered by our electrical system that just haven't been installed yet. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with the pieces and parts that make up the electrical system. So when we're talking about pieces and parts, power storage is first. You've got to have some way to store power so you can use it. On board Dauntless, we actually have 3 batteries that hold power for us. The first battery storing power for us is just the stock Jeep Gladiator battery, as you can see it right here. It's a lead acid battery which sits under the hood, and this battery will eventually provide power to the vehicle itself, the winch, our air compressor, off-road lighting, an alarm system, a dash cam, and the fuel pump for our long-range America fuel tank. In addition to this primary lead acid battery, there's actually a second battery underneath the Jeep Gladiator hood. It sits right behind this panel. That secondary battery is kind of funny because even some Jeep Gladiator owners don't know that it exists. They disconnect their battery and everything still stays on, and they're like baffled as to why that happened. So yeah, it's there, it's behind that wheel well, and it controls all the accessories. So if you disconnect the main battery and everything's still working in your Gladiator, that's why. We're not going to really talk about that battery in this video because it really doesn't have too much to do with our electrical build out. But we do have a third battery which sits in our Alucab canopy camper in the back, and I'm going to go show that one to you, so let's go check it out. All right, so the third battery is a beast. It sits behind our goose gear bulkhead. We've added a little shop light here so you can see in there because it gets kind of dark. But we are really thankful to Renogy Solar, who provided this 170 amp hour lithium battery that lives up here in the forward part of the bed. You can see how large this is. 170 amp hours of power, lithium power, which means it can be fully drained and brought back up. And this battery is going to power pretty much everything else other than what I mentioned already, including our fridge, our exterior lighting, our interior USB and 12 volt outlets, our inverter, our water pump, our Webasto heater, and it's going to provide power to our RedArc Red Vision total vehicle management system. So you can imagine this battery is just providing a whole lot of power for our daily living. Thank you, Renogy. So that's how we store power. Our main lead acid battery under the hood, which is the cranking battery for the vehicle. And then we have the secondary battery, which does the accessories, that's also under the hood behind the wheel well. And we have the Renogy Solar 170 amp hour lithium battery that's providing power to the rest of our house. But we have a few other components that make our electrical system work, and this is where it gets really interesting. On board Dauntless, we have 3 solar panels. The first solar panel is this one right here on the hood. This is called the Cascadia 4x4 VSS, which stands for Vehicle Solar System Panel. It's an 80 watt panel that provides power. And what I really love about this panel is that this is all unused real estate here on the hood of the vehicle, and Cascadia 4x4 has taken advantage of that by providing a power source. In addition to that, Cascadia 4x4 also provided us two 100-watt solar panels that live on the roof of our AluCab canopy camper, which you can see right here. We'll talk about those more later and how they work. Since we've talked about how Dauntless stores power in the 3 batteries, let's talk about how Dauntless is able to receive power. The first way that Dauntless receives power is the common way for most vehicles, which is the alternator. The alternator, when the vehicle is running, provides power to the cranking battery. And in our case, because we have the Red Arc Manager 30, it also pulls power from the alternator to the Renogy 170 amp hour lithium battery in the back. The second way we receive power is through our solar panels. This solar panel, the VSS, which is an 80-watt solar panel, provides power only to the cranking battery and to the secondary battery that are under the hood, while those 2 solar panels up there provide power to the battery that's in the back, our house battery. And the third and final way that Dauntless can receive power is through this little hatch right here. It's basically just a plug for a grounded extension cord that we can plug into a socket, and then this provides power directly to that lithium battery that we have in the back. So now that we've covered how Dauntless stores power in the cranking battery, the secondary battery, and the house battery, and how he receives power through the alternator, the solar panels, and the shore power, let's talk about how it all works together. So our cranking battery that sits under the hood pretty much operates the same as any other vehicle, but our house battery that sits in the back is isolated. It sits all by itself, and it needs something to tell that battery how to use the power that it's storing, and that is where the Red Arc Manager 30 comes in. So try and think of it this way. The Manager 30 controls all the inputs of power. So whether that's coming from the alternator or the solar or shore power, the Manager 30 controls all of those inputs, and then it interfaces with the Red Vision system, which controls all the outputs, or how we monitor and control that power. What's really cool is that the Manager 30 will work with lead acid batteries, AGM batteries, and lithium batteries. And in our case, it's connected to both our cranking battery, which is a stock lead acid battery, and our 170 amp hour Renogy solar lithium battery. It also handles all the inputs from our alternator, our solar, and our shore power, and then provides a 12-volt charging output at a maximum of 30 amp rating. I know that's a little technical jargon, but that's about as technical as I get. What's really cool about it is that the Manager 30 is designed to charge from multiple sources at the same time to charge both the auxiliary and the cranking battery. And one of the things that I really like about it is that it was actually designed and built without a fan, which makes it super quiet and extremely reliable. It should be noted that the Manager 30 does come with its own display if you buy it separately, if you're using it apart from the Red Vision system, but if you're combining it with the Red Vision system like we are, then all the information from the Manager 30 will be displayed on the Red Vision system. One of the things that the Manager 30 communicates to the Red Vision is the state of charge on the battery, so you always know how fully charged it is and how much longer it will take to receive a full charge. It also tells you basically how many days you can stay off grid. And arguably, the most impressive feature of the Red Arc Manager 30 is that it has a charging algorithm built into it, which prioritizes solar power whenever it's available. So when solar power is available, the maximum solar power is used before topping off the output charging current from any other source. This optimization of solar energy saves your battery, makes it more efficient, energy efficient, and of course it's better for the environment. While the Red Arc Manager 30 in and of itself is impressive, when it's combined with the Red Vision, it basically becomes next level, and it's the way it was designed to be used. The Red Vision system, or more properly called the Red Arc Red Vision Total Vehicle Management System, yes, that's a mouthful, is essentially the central hub of our electronic system. It provides a full color display of information regarding our electrical system, and it allows us to understand what is going on behind the scenes from an electrical standpoint in real time. Not only does the Red Vision provide the information, but it also gives us the ability to control the entire system that is connected to it via 2 methods. Either via the Red Vision soft key display panel itself, or via Bluetooth technology right on my smartphone. In English, that means that all the information in our electrical system is literally at my fingertips on my phone at all times when I'm near the vehicle. And I have the ability to turn on or off any device that's connected to the Red Vision system via my phone. So the next time Brittany's taking a shower and she's in that soapy stage, I could just shut off the water pump. But I digress. The Red Vision has a metric ton of functionality. Specifically, the Red Vision system allows you to control multiple onboard devices from one central system, and it has the ability to read up to 6 water tanks, 2 different temperatures, switch up to 10 outputs, fuse up to 10 circuits, plus the charger circuit. And another really helpful feature for those of us not so technically minded, if a fuse gets blown, the Red Vision system indicates the specific fuse with an illuminated white light above the fuse for easy identification. And the icon that shows up here and on the soft keys will actually turn red, telling you that that is the piece of equipment that was affected by the blown fuse. Pretty much makes troubleshooting easy. All right, so we know how we store power, we know how we receive power, we know how it all works together. We know how the Manager 30 controls all the inputs and the Red Vision controls all the outputs. So how do we actually use this system and all of this power when we're out there being off-grid? Well, first things first, it allows us to stay off-grid for extended periods of time. Our food and water will run out long before our power runs out with the setup that we have. Inside Dauntless, we have several items that are constantly powered, no matter if the vehicle is on or off, as long as our batteries have enough power to keep them running. Our various USB and 12-volt power outlets are always on. Our National Luna fridge is always on. And our National Luna lights that come with our AluCab canopy camper are always powered on. These are connected to the Red Vision, but we've placed them in a locked position so that they can never be toggled on or off unless we change those settings. Everything else that we have inside Dauntless that is connected to our Red Vision system, we need to power it on or off via the display or via our phone. And these items include our Cotec 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, which sits inside our Goose Gear utility cabinet on the passenger side of the vehicle. This inverter allows us to safely use 110 power to charge or use our sensitive electronic devices, kind of like you would in your own home. We also have powerful scene lighting by Rigid Industries on the outside of Dauntless. We have both white and amber scene lights that are on all 3 sides of our AluCab canopy camper, and those are controlled independently. So with the touch of a button, I can either turn on all the amber lights or turn on all the white lights. And our water pump is also controlled by the system, which provides pressurized water out of our AluCab 13-gallon fresh water tank, which we can use for showers or just spraying things off. And finally, our Webasto heater is also controlled via the Red Vision. This unit can keep the interior of the AluCab canopy camper warm and comfortable via our thermostat control, while the Red Vision system lets us know what the actual interior temperature is via the display. So there you have it, folks. That's our electrical system on board Dauntless and how we'll be using it for our global journey. There's so much more to come. Next week, we plan to show you our stop right here at Sonoran Expedition Collective. Brian Wankel, the owner here, is a wizard, a master tinkerer. We cannot wait to show you all of what he did to Dauntless, including the installation of our long-range America external fuel tank. Hopefully you're enjoying our build series, and we'd love it if you'd give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification when our next video goes live. All the likes, subscribes, and comments really help us get the word out about our global journey that's coming up really soon, and we really appreciate that. And as always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments below. We do make an effort to respond to every comment that we possibly can. Thank you so much for being part of our community, and we'll see you next week.